What up, guys? It's Third War. This video is about diet. Alright, a couple months ago I posted a video about veganism. I used to be a hardcore vegan. I no longer am a vegan. Alright, if you are vegan, that's completely fine. I definitely think it's still a healthy diet choice, as long as you're not eating grains and whatnot. But we'll get to that in a minute. So I actually deleted that video because I don't want to kind of steer people down the wrong path. If you choose to stay vegan after watching this video, then make sure you get a good B12 supplement, because animal products have B12 in it. You absolutely need B12, and you don't just get a Walgreens B12 supplement. You have to research it and actually make sure you're getting the right one. I don't want to tell you which one to get because I did research it, but I'm still not like 100% positive that the one I would suggest is the right one. So I'm going to refrain from doing that and let you research it yourself. If you're not getting B12 in your diet, you need to get B12 every day. If you're not getting B12 and you start to develop a deficiency, it can actually cause brain damage, blindness, deafness, just tons of problems. And it's not like you see signs as you start declining in B12 levels. It all hits you at once. So you won't know you're B12 deficient until you're actually B12 deficient. And at that point, severe damage has already taken place. So it's not like there's a warning system that tells you like, hey, you start supplementing with B12. It doesn't do that. It'll just start causing very bad things that happen. So you want to make sure you're taking B12 if you're a vegan. If you're not a vegan, it's not a bad idea to take B12, but you don't necessarily need it. So the new diet recommendation is the Primal diet, and there's a similar diet called Paleo. I guess there's some very minute differences, but basically, it's a diet that our ancestors ate throughout evolution. If you believe in evolution, it's the diet that our ancestors ate as they were coming up through evolution. If you believe in religion, then all the Abrahamic religions, whether it's Judaism, Islam, or Christianity, their gods all allow you to eat meat. I believe Hinduism it says you can eat meat. And so basically, no matter which path you take, whether it's religion or whether it's evolution or whether you're more abstract and more open-minded and you take a different route from either one of those, eating meat is a natural thing. Alright, so before I was more on the compassionate side more than the scientific side, and now I am eating meat, and I don't plan to go back because I actually feel better eating meat. I do eat organic meat. I buy organic chicken breast. I can't really afford organic beef because that's pretty expensive. But for the people that kind of feel bad about eating meat, eat chicken. I mean, chickens aren't mammals. I mean, if you feel bad about eating meat, don't eat mammals. That's an easy solution to integrate animal products into your diet while still remaining somewhat moral, because the justification for that would be that mammals think more, they have higher thinking capabilities, they're more conscious, whereas most non-mammalian creatures don't have the same capabilities. Chickens just walk around and pluck around, where on the other hand you have cows and goats and lambs that, are goats and lambs the same thing? I don't know. But they'll actually react with you, they'll recognize you, they'll hang out with you, you know what I'm saying? So it's more of there's more of a relationship between mammals than there is for mammals and non-mammals. So that's one step you can take. But basically, the Primal diet it's no grains, no sugar, no processed food, no beans, no corn, no white potatoes, no peanuts. There might be something else, I'm not sure. No fruit juices, don't drink fruit juice. And basically, you can eat meat, lots of vegetables, like a lot of vegetables, eat fruits, and eat some nuts and seeds. So try and limit your nut and seed intake. But basically, this is what we grew on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, prior to agriculture, we were hunting and gathering in the wild, so we couldn't grow wheat, we couldn't grow rice. We would hunt down an animal in the wild, bring it back to camp, cook it, maybe have the women gather vegetables and fruit in the forest, you know, stuff like that. And that's what our body is more designed to do. There's actually research, I believe, by Nora something. She wrote the book Primal Body, Primal Mind, and she said something along the lines that our skulls and like our anatomies from skeletons from the past basically show that once agriculture was introduced into our diet, our teeth started getting messed up, our skeletal system started getting messed up, so stuff like that. So you definitely want to take grains out of your diet, and you want to stick very simple: meat, vegetables, fruit, nuts, and seeds, and lots of water. Don't drink fruit juice; it's loaded with sugar. Of course, don't drink pop or anything like that. Don't drink anything with substitute sugars, because that's even worse than sugar. All right. What else? That's basically it. Just eat how a human would eat in the wild. And a good website for this is marksdailyapple.com. It's by a guy named Mark Sisson. Sisson, I don't know how you pronounce it. And you can actually go on the forums there. You can register. You can be a part of the community. You can learn on there. He posts articles all the time. So you know, just keep up and just gain information every now and then. Dr. Mercola is another guy. He recommends eating meats, and he's one of the people at the forefront of the health industry. He knows tons of stuff about health. And so, yeah, Primal diet, like I said, if you want to still stay vegan, completely fine, but take B12. And like I was saying before, I said I was going to touch on this later. If you're a vegan, this is why I don't recommend veganism, because if you're a vegan, you shouldn't be eating grains, alright? You shouldn't be eating beans, like I said. Shouldn't be eating sugar, of course. So then the question is, where are you going to get your complete protein from? Because most people say, well, you can get complete protein from quinoa or quinoa, however you say it, or by mixing beans and rice. But bean is a bean and rice is a grain, so you don't want to eat those. Your only other option is to mix seeds and nuts. You want to limit your consumption of seeds and nuts, because our bodies aren't designed to just process massive amounts of seeds and nuts. And most of them are actually, they have to be soaked, because they have, I believe it's enzyme inhibitors, which can actually draw minerals out of your body and leave you in a more unhealthy state after you eat them than you were prior to eating them. And soaking them actually gets rid of these enzyme inhibitors, but you don't want to spend every day just soaking nuts and seeds so you can meet a daily protein requirement, when you could just cook an organic chicken breast and get more protein without putting so much strain on your digestive system to digest a massive amount of seeds. One of the only seeds that doesn't have the enzyme inhibitor would be hemp seed, but even then, I mean, I was trying to get in 90 grams of hemp seed, because I work out, and I was trying to reach at least 90 grams of protein a day. And I was getting 90 grams of protein from hemp seed every day, which turned out to be like 24 tablespoons, which is just a massive amount of seeds, you know what I'm saying? Definitely eat hemp seeds, eat maybe 3 tablespoons a day for micronutrients and whatnot, but don't make that your primary protein source. And so yeah, without eating massive amounts of seeds and nuts, without staying away from beans and grains, it's impossible to get good amounts of protein every day on a vegan diet. But whereas if you eat a primal diet, if you eat 1 chicken breast, that's 50 grams of protein. 2 chicken breasts, that's 100 grams of protein. You're good for the day. You have all the protein you need. After that, just eat greens, you know, make salads, avocados, and whatnot. So, yeah, primal diet, marksdailyapple.com. I'll put it somewhere down here. I'll put the links. You can just click it and check out the website. And so yeah, that's where my research on diets and health and all that has taken me. So yeah, definitely look into it if you want to get healthy, which you all should. And please, people don't say you can take spirulina and chlorella for complete protein, because even though it is complete protein, and you should definitely take those 2 things because they're amazing, you can't take enough of it to reach a good amount of daily protein. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you eat 2 chicken breasts, that's 100 grams of protein. You have to eat massive amounts of hemp seed and chlorella and spirulina to get that same amount, which will end up costing you massive amounts of money as well. So yeah, definitely look into it. That's it, Third War. Click up here. I'm gonna have my songs up here, youtube.com/official Third War. You just go there, listen to my music, spread it around if you like it, and that's it. More videos coming probably tomorrow or something. Later.